1. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, I hate group works because when you have a group of more than like 6 people, there's always going to be that one smart, popular guy who's going to tell everyone what to do, and you're going to have other people who get away with not doing anything. And even if like you're all smart in beast mode, it just makes it so hard to be able to do the things you want to do, and you rather just do it for yourself. Side government at best proves that this is urgent and that genocide is bad. These are not things we have in contention. On both sides, genocide is bad. On both sides, this is urgent. But contrary to popular belief, just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do it. Because of a couple of things we told you coming from our side consistently that we heard little to no response to. Number 1, the principle of sovereignty from my speech, wherein at best, if the ICC does this right and correctly, what happens to domestic and local courts? What happens to domestic and local governments and laws? I understand what they're saying. They're not going to literally go away, but the harm is that their motivation and capacity to be able to crack down on things which they're proximate to doesn't become as urgent because they can rely on Big Brother to be able to solve it for them. The second is on the idea of democratic voting and the harms of majority. We told you in status quo how it takes long, but imagine if that group work of 6 people was now 200. And that's what you get if you have this like joint coalition between the ICC and many different countries, or even at worst, a single set of people being able to call the shots, wherein the richest and most popular developed country is likely the one arbitrating justice for the world. The third is something you get from Jaron's extension, and how it's an affront against the criminal justice system. It's an affront against rehabilitation because, yeah, Duterte may be bad, he isn't yet convicted, but the point in which it becomes this whole player versus player thing, it becomes international sovereignty versus domestic sovereignty that leads to the harms of infighting that we talked about. The second is on the idea of retribution, meaning if we want to hold these madmen and these bad people accountable, we want to hold them here where it's proximate to the victims and the people they hurt. That is why the process should happen within the confines of that country. Third is this idea of proportionality, meaning this debate isn't just this narrow idea of genocide that they told you, but anything and everything because something that they have the capacity to be able to deal with. Meaning, you get the spamming idea I told you in the top of my speech, wherein just because they can do something doesn't mean they should be involved in all of these instances. The last and the most important is this idea of deterrence. We agree with side government. We want to be able to allow them to be able to be accountable for these war crimes, but we question the lens in which they should be able to do it. In status quo, absent this ability to like hold any individual accountable, we can still get that on our side of the house. At best, we commend side government for the consistency of their case line, but as the debate progresses, it does not evolve given the responses and pushback we told you, either from deputy extension or competing analysis through rebuttal. There are 3 metrics you should use to be able to arbitrate this debate and not some boogeyman metric you might think in your head or something that their side might tell you. A, depth of argumentation. B, degree of responsiveness through constructive material and POI. And C, burden fulfillment and proximity to, as they say, the spirit of the motion. For all of these reasons, we're successfully able to cast a shadow of doubt in terms of their capacity and tell you how it ultimately can get worse, and the point in which they do succeed is where you unlock the harms we told you consistently. We are very proud to stand on side opposition.